That's weird.
Welcome back to the Everything Goes Podcast with your host, TAK. A weekly podcast with the latest sports news, the hottest of the hot takes, and the best predictions you can get. Now, Chris, Ace, take it away.
What is up, beautiful people? Back to the Everything Goes Podcast, episode 215 of these bad boys. I can't believe it. We got plenty.
I love how you cut Ace off. Ace was still talking. He goes, "That's weird." And now here's
Dude, my stream
intro.
froze for like 4 seconds. I was like, oh man. We got plenty to discuss today, man. Kellen Moore looks like he's going to be the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. We can't confirm or deny. McCarthy wanted a 5-year deal. Jerry Jones wanted a 3-year deal. We're going to talk about our Super Bowl picks. Got Marshawn Lynch, going in there. Pete Carroll's situation. That was funny.
Breaking it up?
Breaking it up. Yeah. Raiders. Is that what he said? Little Duval. We got plenty to discuss on this lovely Thursday, pre-Friday. Man, Eagles.
Pre-Super Bowl.
I mean, dude, hey, hot topic. Is the Pro Bowl kind of a waste of breath at this point?
Absolutely.
Yep.
JJ, I love JJ Watt. JJ Watt takes some hot takes, and the Pat McAfee show had him on, and they were talking about how he tweeted out when Drake May got voted into the Pro Bowl after I don't remember who couldn't go, probably Pat Mahomes, and it's just funny to see a team that had 2 wins, and that quarterback is in the Pro Bowl. I think the Pro Bowl's done nowadays. JJ says it perfectly. It's like it's not really based off stats. It's all popularity.
Yep.
It's flag football and dodgeball, capture the flag, whatever it is. They
should just make it for rookies.
Yeah. I mean, and to his point, I understand nowadays, the business side of it is far more advanced than it was, say, 20 years ago. Contracts are larger. You're investing in these players more than we've ever have. So to see someone
they might
to see someone go to the Pro Bowl and tear his ACL that would suck. Obviously, the rumor though, not the rumor, but the thing that people say that I think would attract so many viewers is instead of the Pro Bowl, the week before the Super Bowl, you take the 2 worst teams in the league. I don't care who, if someone had one more extra win, and you have them play out for the number 1 pick in the draft.
Yes,
how cool would that be?
Okay, that's a great idea.
How cool would that
NFL. We need to tag NFL in this video because Ty, that's a great idea.
What it should be is there should be a line, right? And it's if you finish below this line, the two teams that finish below this line, whether one has 5 wins and one has 3 wins, you are going to compete.
Yep.
And whoever wins gets the number 1 overall pick.
Well, you know what? Roger Goodell wants to go to 20 games. Instead of doing 20 games, take your top 10 worst teams in the league and let them have a playoff bracket for the order.
I love this. Heck yeah. And then you could still keep dodgeball in maybe some of the passing stuff, whatever you want to do, those fine.
I mean, I don't mind the flag football. I mean, it is going to be an Olympic thing. That's all good and dandy, but I just think the Pro Bowl is a waste of time nowadays. It's not like Sean Taylor's out there laying people down,
Yeah, you can
too
still
much
get
of an
hurt
investment.
When you can still get hurt anyways.
It's true.
So
I just think the 2 worst teams beefing it out for the number 1 pick. I'd watch that game. Imagine who's got it, Tennessee, and who's number 2 this year?
Not New England. Giants.
I don't
know. The Giants have 3. It's
I'm looking at right now. Hold on. It is the Browns, Cleveland Browns.
So imagine the Browns and the Titans going head to head. First one to win gets the number 1 pick. That'd be awesome. That'd be cool and creative. Let's be creative. I don't want to watch some $45 million paid athlete play dodgeball.
Who would actually watch this? If they did the top 10 teams, you would have Tennessee, Cleveland, the Giants, the Patriots, the Jaguars, the Raiders, the Jets, the Panthers, the Saints, and the Bears. I can see the Saints running the table.
For what? A top 10? You
number
play
1
out
pick.
Number
1 pick.
Imagine they did top 4. You had
New England,
2
Giants,
weeks,
Cleveland,
2 weeks worth of games. I think that'd be so cool.
Must watch TV.
I think the Jets would win.
It would draw viewers, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
It doesn't matter. Spring football starting in a couple of months.
But you think about it.
Baseball, like you said.
Yeah, and if you think about it though, I was thinking about this the other day driving home from work. MLB All-Star Game, as much as a lot of people say baseball's a dying sport, that All-Star game attracts a lot of viewers. And same with the Home Run Derby. The Home Run Derby really attracts a lot of people. Every year, a lot of people watch the Home Run Derby. The NHL, the skill sets that they have, the people watch that. NBA All-Star game is kind of dumb in my opinion, but like a lot of people watch it.
I think what baseball should do is baseball should have a first half and a second half, but cut it down, because during COVID, when they only played 80-some games, that was the best baseball I ever seen, because baseball, every game mattered.
Yeah. Well, that's I think I don't know if I talked about this
in-season
with you
champion.
Guys. I don't know if I said this to you guys, but I've talked about it with people lately. I'm like, could you imagine sports did what football did? Like, imagine baseball played once or twice a week rather than 5 times a week. Yeah. The views would be 10 times higher.
It would have to be same schedule though.
And it would still be the same length, right? Same amount of months, but you're just playing 1 to 3 times a week rather than 5.
You need a farm system.
But they do have a farm system.
What?
And tickets are cheap for that, but still,
I just think
structurally they'd never reduce the games now,
Like,
never.
Could you imagine the Yankees and like MLB played once a week? Like you'd watch every single game.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
It would suck, We
would yearn for it.
You were so used to, but I think that's why NFL draws such a big crowd, is because you have to wait all week to just watch one game.
Psychology. At the end of the day, we're addicted to it. We'll get on a routine eventually, and like love it.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about it. A lot of inside news going on. A lot of the head coaching jobs are being filled. Dallas signed their head coach. The New Orleans Saints are the last team on the table. We will discuss Dallas's coach situations. I want to kind of dive into the New Orleans Saints situation for a little bit. It felt like the New Orleans Saints had the NFL on a gold platter. Like, everyone filled their coaching voids, and all the coaches the Saints were interested in. Nobody was interviewing them or hiring them. Like Joe Brady, I talked last week so much about Joe Brady was supposed to be the guy. Pulls out. Get to the Commanders lose. Get to the Commanders lose. Everyone's like, all right, Cliff Kingsbury's going to come in for an interview. Goes back to Washington.
Yep.
Mike McCarthy. I'm going to wait next year.
Retires.
But there's a lot of people there's some people that say like, like they lost out here. But there's a lot of people that truly believe that the Saints have been interested in Kellen Moore from the beginning, even though he wasn't like number 3 or number 4 on some people's list. I mean, the New Orleans Saints clearly made it an objective that they were going to take this process slow, and that they were going to wait to be able to interview Kellen Moore. They flew out as soon as that game was over. They flew out on Mrs. Benson's plane, and they met with Kellen Moore from like 6 p.m. a little past midnight.
You're going to have a top 5 offense.
That's a long interview. That's a long interview. And there's a lot of people that believe it's coming down to Kellen Moore, Darren Rizzi, or Weaver, one of those 3, but it's very, very, it won't be written in paper yet, but most people believe Kellen Moore will be the next head coach of the New England Saints. And I honestly, I'm intrigued. I don't think it would be a sign-in as a head coach that Saints fans would be like, wow, let's go. Like that's the exciting pick. But what's intriguing to me is, number one, Mike McCarthy pulls out. I don't think Mike McCarthy pulls out because he didn't want the New Orleans Saints job. I think that's what Cliff did, and I think that's what Joe did. I think that they saw like not that great of a situation right now. They're kind of in cap hell. There's some older guys. I'm gonna leave cap hell. But I think Mike kind of had the the thought process of like, I just don't really think they want me. I think Mike, a lot of insiders in New Orleans thinks Mike wanted the Saints job more than the Saints wanted Mike. If that makes sense. And then you pull out because you don't want to make it known that you lost the head coaching job to your offensive coordinator that he had. You know what I mean?
You brought it up earlier. Just listen to the inside sources too, or before we even started. And
if I could address Saints fans, what I would say is what's intriguing to me about Kellen Moore is I think everyone wants this exciting raw guy. Like I was totally cool if we would have brought Rizzi back. I like a raw guy. You guys know that. I like a guy that can hold a locker room and be a leader of men. But I think when I see a picture of Kellen Moore, I don't see a guy that looks like he's going to go in there and start slamming desk and get guys hyped. But I also don't think you always need that. I think there's other coaches in the room that could be that raw guy. But I think what's interesting, yes, absolutely, like your veteran players. If you can get your veteran players on board with your game schemes and get them rolling, I think what's intriguing about Kellen Moore is he has been building a good resume, right? Becomes the offense coordinator of Dallas. Wherever he has gone, he has typically been a top 10 in offense. was a good offense coordinator for Dallas. I would say the Chargers was the only spot that he was okay in. And then look what happens to the Eagles. The Eagles last year struggled offensively. They had like 5 to 6 lost 6 in a row at the end of the season. Yeah. And then Kellen Moore comes in, and they're top 10 in almost every single category, especially in rushing. So you have a young guy, right?
MVP Saquon helps, but he's designing the play.
Absolutely.
Still, so young guy.
I like that the New Orleans Saints are trying to be different this time. They're not trying to bring in a guy they know who is older in the coaching history. I like that he's a newer guy. He's a younger guy, and he's a brilliant offensive coordinator. And do I know if he's the raw guy? I don't think so, but I'm excited to see what he can bring to the New Orleans culture. Who says he doesn't come in and drafts a running back that first round or drafts like an incredible, I don't know what he wants, but I'm intrigued to see what he brings. And, they talked about maybe he brings Brandon Staley, who was the head coach of San Diego as a defensive coordinator. Maybe he brings some of these new, young, talented guys. He's definitely going to bring people because, we lost our offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak. We were about to lose our quarterback coach. So, I'm not against it. I'm very intrigued by it. I think there could have been a worse decision. I'm happy that I didn't see New Orleans just kind of settle and go down to an older guy. And again, nothing's set in stone. They haven't hired him yet. But I'm intrigued by...
Over the cap has you guys in good shape next year. Not 2026 for
2026 and then 7. It has under 50 to 100. But again, who knows? Extensions could change this year.
58 million in 2026, and in 2027. You guys have 219. That's what it says, but I don't know how true that is.
Wow,
that's going out 2 years though.
Yeah, so that's not talking about maybe they extend people this year.
This year you're 54 million over the cap. Minnesota is actually in good shape for this coming year. 57 million next year.
We have some coaches interviewing. I think Flores and KOC will stay, of course. But our assistant GM is also interviewing too. So we're losing some front office, but both sides most likely.
Yeah.
I didn't realize when you pay attention more often, I didn't realize how often this happens. Every year. I think 1 or 2 coaches on every team, it seems like, is moving.
Gone. Yeah. Listen, I would give the Saints, and again, they haven't hired anybody yet, but I would give them, I'd give them a B+ if they got Kellen Moore. I think I'm intrigued by it. I really am. I'm intrigued to see someone has to. Well, they can't hire him until February 10th. That's the day.
I know, but I'm saying they got to do something soon. They got to figure it out.
I think when you think of a guy like Kellen Moore, who has interviewed a bunch of times for head coaching job, someone's got to give him an opportunity to see whether or not he can do it. So it is what it is. I personally would rather have Kellen Moore than Mike McCarthy just because I want to see something different. And I think
Brian Leftwich.
There you go.
Is he coaching?
I think he's coming back as an OC somewhere, but that's the guy that should always have gotten a shot for a head coach. And
maybe he comes to New Orleans as an offense coordinator assistant. Bobby Slovak, he got fired, man. He's floating out there too. Maybe Kellen Moore brings him in as an assistant.
And they were high on him.
Coordinator. The rumor is that him and Stroud got into it.
Yeah, but they were high on him, huge, and they said his job was secure. Gone.
Yeah,
their job's not secure.
Well, he was play caller.
Yeah, man, Kellen Moore to the Saints. I'd approve of it, and I'd be intrigued by it. I think it'd be interesting to see what he wants at quarterback, what he wants at wide receiver. So I'd be intrigued by it. But we'll move on to Dallas. Mike McCarthy, he's skipping out. He's going to come back next year. Obviously, there's nothing else left, so why be embarrassed and not get anything? But it comes out that he wanted 5 years with Dallas. Jerry Jones only wanted 3 years. Mike McCarthy is getting old, but still brought a winning culture to Dallas. Would you have wanted Mike McCarthy for 5 years?
No, I would have taken him back for another year just to let him play it out. But
yeah,
when you win one playoff game in 5 years, it's time to move on. His play calling is so 1990s. It's I've seen high school football performances that are more exciting than the Cowboys offense. All this little check down stuff, and not to mention you don't have no other weapons to go with CeeDee Lamb, so you don't have time to throw anything, and they force the ball to CeeDee, so it's one dimensional. So there's a lot of holes to fill in Dallas. I think we're going to be good in about 8 years from now.
Do you like
you guys both need running back?
We have no running backs on our team right now on our roster.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, Saints and Cowboys both could take Genty, I guess is what I'm getting at, which would be a nice little
people that think
nice little war for the podcast.
Yeah. I've seen mock drafts where we take Ohio State's running back in the 3rd round.
So
Henderson?
they're coming out and saying that there are a lot of good running backs, but they're being overshadowed by the Boyd State.
We need a number one receiver to go with CeeDee Lamb. That's what we need.
Get the kid at Ohio State.
Yeah, we have good tight ends. We need a good receiver.
Okay, take Ohio State both. Get the receiver and the running back.
Yeah, they'll just gel with our Michigan defensive tackles.
What do you think of the Dallas head coach signing? How do you say his last name?
Schottenheimer. I mean, look, he's been in the league 10 years. You know, I'm not a big fan of it, but then if you look at like the coach from the Rams, you know, he was a first-time coach. The coach from the 49ers, he was a first-time coach. The coach for the Packers was a first-time coach. You don't know. You don't know.
Got to get an opportunity, just like Kellen Moore. You got to get an opportunity.
My gut says the Cowboys are cheap. They're always cheap, and they don't want to pay a big name. But at the same time, what big name's going to want to come in here and deal with the mess and deal with the circus of the Dallas Cowboys week in, week out?
Yeah, I think that hurts them a lot right now.
Jerry Jones just meets with the media right after the game before the coach does.
Just a lot of negative stuff's coming out, and they just don't really seem to be acknowledging it. And it just, I don't know. Like the fans can see through it.
Yeah, Stephen Jones was doing air quotes at the press conference about, you know, the people complaining about not being in the championship game, but it's the truth. We haven't been there in over 30 years. I mean, it's ridiculous. This team
it's been a while. When's the last time the championship game? I was saying, when's the last time that they've been to an NFC championship game?
I think 96.
You guys, yeah, Chris, you sent it, right?
Yeah, it's horrible.
It was the longest. Yeah, it's now the longest in the NFC.
But the problem is, you know, and I agree with Jerry. You give a large piece of the pie to two of the players. Now Micah's going to want a contract. Odigizua, one of the best defensive tackles in football, we're going to lose him because he's going to want $25 million a year. The Cowboys, we're known for showcasing talent and losing it after their first contract. That's what we do.
Yeah.
The coach, I don't get not paying the coach what he's a Super Bowl winning coach. If he wanted more money, I don't even know if that's the big deal anyways.
I think it was delayed.
It doesn't even go towards the salary cap. Coaches'
exactly,
salaries don't go towards the salary cap.
I think it was the length. I think they said Mike was set on 5 years, and Jerry did not want him for 5 years. And I don't necessarily,
for 5 years.
Yeah, I don't necessarily blame him because then you're locked in. I mean,
but my thing is there was better options out there. I mean, Schottenheimer is going to be calling plays as well, which I don't agree with. So things have to.
Why don't you agree? Has he called plays in the past? Have you seen how that?
He was the OC. He was the OC on paper, but Mike McCarthy called the plays.
Nice. Maybe he'll bring something different. He's got a whole year to make change. I think Dallas screwed themselves by not interviewing really anybody, though. I mean, Saleh came in. That was cool. I like Saleh. I think that's a home run in my opinion. But like there was a bunch of coaches out there that probably would have wanted to come in and interviewed.
Yeah, I wanted Pete Carroll. That's who I wanted. I wanted Pete Carroll. Mm-hmm. He's going to turn the Raiders around. You watch. They're going to be a great team.
Listen, man, there's a lot of buzz about the Raiders right now.
I put this out on Twitter the other day. Yeah. The Cowboys are going to be in last place next year. The Giants are a quarterback away from passing the Cowboys.
They could get one this draft too. They could get one this draft.
Yeah, we got 22 free agents. We only have a few million in cap space. We're just going to try to fix everything through the draft, and it's going to suck. I'm looking at new teams who I want to start sporting their stuff.
So I thought Pete Carroll, I don't think they're going to get to the playoffs unless it depends what they do with quarterback. But is anyone going to do what Jaden Daniels did? This was supposed to be a really good quarterback draft anyways.
Look at Dak's first year. Dak was amazing his first year.
So like Carroll, they got to get, and they did have a really good team though. I don't know who's good there. Who's the tight end? Brock Bowers.
Yeah, you got Brock Bowers. You got Myers, Jacoby Myers. I mean, you have talent. They need a running back and they need a quarterback.
Million in cap space.
Yeah, they need some
million.
I think Brady being there is a big influence. I think Pete draws some guys in. I mean, he's already drawn some of his Seattle coaches. The Russ rumors. I mean, honestly, like that would be huge in my opinion. I don't think Russell Wilson isn't. I still think that Russell's playing at a good level to get you wins. I don't know if he wins you in the playoffs and gets you a Super Bowl. But I think Russ is a very good bridge option for the Raiders. If they don't see their quarterback in this draft or they want someone to learn.
Did Russ throw for 2,000 yards this year?
I think he did.
Russ needs to go somewhere where there's a line built like the Eagles line, somewhere where they don't have.
He doesn't have to
count to 2 and run. Russ needs at least 3 seconds to get ready to throw the ball.
Yeah, I don't think the Raiders are that either.
No.
But do you think Russ to the Raiders would be good for them?
I don't know. Are you living your dreams? Are you living your dreams from the early 2000s? I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
Not with Sierra.
what's Russell's age? Let me look at it real quick.
Sierra could get a residency.
He's got to be like 37. But, you know, Chris, Russ does throw a pretty good freaking deep ball.
He's 36. Wow, he's getting old.
Chris, he could do the Sierra, get her a residency, and boom, call it a day. I like that move.
Yeah.
Because but here's the thing. They've notoriously had a shitty offensive line. Who are you going to have at running back? Jacoby Myers and Bowers? That's not enough.
No.
Like, they're weak in a lot of spots.
I think, like I said, I think Pete and Brady, like, I think when you are a rebuilding team, I think you need something there to be attractive. And I think Pete and I think Brock Bowers, I think Tom Brady being part owner now, I think that attracts people. I think Crosby being the back of the press conference with Pete and how fired up he looks, like Crosby still attracts people as far as the defensive side. They really they just need a quarterback that can compete. Whether that's they draft a quarterback or they go and get like Justin Fields would be a good option. Let someone young come in there.
You know what's funny? Russ has a big ego. Could you imagine his pitcher on the Sphere?
Oh my gosh.
Diving into the game. He'd be requested on a Sunday too.
What pick do the Raiders have? 4?
Yeah, Chris, they got to be top 5 at least.
I honestly don't know. I don't have it open right now, but I can open it. Give me some time. Just keep.
I think it's 4, right? So listen, they could do this. The Raiders, if they don't think Shador or Cam Ward are the answer, they could draft the best talent available at their spot, right? The wide receiver from Ohio State. They could draft Travis Hunter if he's still there, a generational talented player. Listen to this. Listen to this. You could even go get a Sam Darnold, Justin Fields, someone that you know that will get you wins. You know,
that was the rumor. The rumor was Sam Darnold. Yeah. Come to think of it.
Yeah, so I heard the wildest Giants take. It was like this guy, this actor. He said, "Listen to this." He goes, "You have Malik Neighbors, and you have Tracy, the running back, who was really good, the rookie." He goes, "You go out there and you don't take a quarterback. You take Travis Hunter." And then you go out there and you sign Sam Darnold. He's like, you're winning the NFC East. I was like, well, that's a hot take.
Yep.
Yeah. So they have the Raiders going defense.
What do they have? The 4th, 5th?
I don't.
Sixth pick.
6th pick.
Yeah,
I don't think they take a quarterback. I don't think, unless Shador falls into their lap, because I think that Brady likes Shador. I think you go get Justin Fields or Sam Darnold and you stack up on offensive weapons. I mean, Brock Bowers is an absolute weapon. He's not a Kyle Pitts that just never developed in the NFL. Like you saw, like he broke the records.
Darnold in a good system.
I would go Jameis Winston.
Ooh.
I just don't think Jameis wins though. Like I like Jameis. I think Jameis is cool, and I think that like
look what he did in Cleveland.
They didn't win though. Would they win 2 games?
Yeah, but
they were like 500.
But their stats went up offensively when he came in.
Absolutely, because he throws the long ball and he's going to risk it for the interception.
Yeah.
What about Kirk Cousins?
Listen, I think a Kirk Cousins. I think Sam. I think Justin Fields in the Raiders uniform would be great.
You
have Jacoby Myers still there. You go out there and you draft a young wide receiver. Free agency, there's plenty of receivers that be available. Amari Cooper's to be one. Go get a veteran to get in there. Like there's guys that are going to be available.
Yeah.
I think Pete's going to change the culture. Like you said, I think Pete's attractive there. I think Tom Brady being there. I think it's going to be a good situation for the Raiders. If I'm a Raiders fan, I'm happy with this.
Correct. If anything, they needed that culture change because they didn't really seem like they had an identity. Ever.
No, it's about time you start developing a team. I mean, you opened this beautiful stadium, and you just didn't do anything with it. Amen. Oh, Dad, I wanted to ask you, Dad. By the way, I heard these like inside rumors spiraling that like the thing that's happening behind closed doors with Dallas is that like they're hoping Jason Witten gets coaching experience because they ultimately want Jason Witten to become the next Dallas head coach.
He's coaching high school. He's got a long way to go.
A long way to go, but I heard that's what they want.
Then he should come on and coach the freaking tight ends or something to get his feet wet.
Yep.
You know what? If I'm the Cowboys, I would be freaking calling up the Raiders and say, "We'll give you Trey Lance and Micah Parsons for your freaking top pick, and a 3rd round pick."
Dude, I saw that. Like, they come out with those like trade packages. They get the number 1 pick, and of course the Saints are on them. I'm like, wow, oh yeah, that's right. We have the 9th pick. We're right there.
Yeah.
I was like, that'd be wild. I don't know why they'd want to do that, but I'm all for Arch Manning the next year. But
If I'm the Cowboys, I'm moving down. I'm moving down in the draft. I'm not taking a running back in the first round. You're going to guarantee him at least 5 years. You're going to give him big money. I'm backing down. I'm trading down, and then just getting more picks. We don't have a 4th round pick. We have a ton of 5th round picks. Get a 4th round.
Get best player at the most highest need.
Yeah, especially if the board falls to you. Like if there's a good receiver there, I'll drop down. Because honestly, I don't even know Chiefs. What do you do to fix this team? I mean, there's so many holes.
So segue, that could get us into the Super Bowl picks because Chiefs, they got Worthy at like the 20th something last year's draft from the Bills.
I feel bad for Josh Allen, man.
Yeah.
The press conference after that, man, I'm just like, listen, man, like, I mean, he had his opportunity, right? 3 minutes left. You have all the opportunity in the world to show you at least need 3 points to tie the game right here. But you have it is on a platter right here. Go win the game, and everyone can see this is Josh Allen's game. And unfortunately, they didn't. But I do feel bad for Josh Allen because how mind-blowing is it that Pat Mahomes has been in the league for 7 years, and 5 of those years he's been to the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Like, if you think about how there are franchises that have never been to a Super Bowl or have a Super Bowl drought of 20 plus years, and this kid has been 5 out of 7 years.
Vikings.
Look, I'm in a group chat with work with a bunch of guys that were, the one was a Bills fan, the other one's is a Chiefs fan, and there's an Eagles fan in there as well. He doesn't count though. But I was like, I don't know what a catch is anymore. I put in a Dez catch because that Worthy catch, I don't think that was a catch. I mean, the tip of the ball hits the ground.
And that was 3rd down.
They said the grass can help you. They said the ground can help you secure it nowadays as long as it doesn't bounce off the ground. If you have it and it touches the ground, it's so weird nowadays.
And then Josh Allen's first down, he got that first down as clear as day.
That's the only thing I'd say because I feel like
I
feel like the refs did a pretty good job of that game, but didn't feel like they were sucking KC. But that 4th and 1. I thought he got by it. I mean,
but here's
you
the
can literally see his head go, the ball on the head go right by it.
How many times he ran that play? 3 times, 4 times before that.
I heard that.
And he ran it. They even called it on the broadcast whenever he always leans left. So like the broadcast knew, Chiefs clearly knew.
That's where they were like, so Joe Brady, like, you got to call a different
Romo,
play.
Baby. That's why Romo should be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Romo could be the head coach, the offensive corner, and the defensive corner. Just stick him up in the freaking booth. He can see it all.
Man,
I hate you.
I mean, shout out. You said Romo as well as McCarthy.
It's tough, man. The Eagles and Chiefs. Obviously, we saw this 2 years ago. I mean, Jalen Hurts 4 years in the league, or what was it, 4 or 5 years? He's been twice. Like I feel like we can say like I feel like we could stop trashing him. Like there's so much media that's always like he's not the guy. His arm sucks. Like I mean,
Hurts or Brock Purdy. Hurts or sorry.
I mean, 2 Super Bowl in 4 years. I mean, you gotta give it to him. Yeah, he's gone to the Super Bowl more times than I've seen in my life as a Saints fan.
He looked
the
good.
Pro Bowl first.
Jesus,
so dumb.
All pro. He looked good against the Commanders. Like accurate, was hitting Brown early, targeted a plethora of the receivers, and then Saquon. When you got Saquon MVP, baby. When you got Saquon.
What did I say last week? I said if the Eagles run the ball, they're gonna lose. And I said I'm gonna pick the Commanders. I said, but if they come out and they throw that ball around.
Yeah,
they have more weapons than the Commanders.
But they did run the ball, and you watch that game, and if you cannot say that Saquon Barkley is the MVP, then this league is rigged. I mean, look at the touchdowns he had. He had like what 3 touchdown runs?
Yeah, but the thing is, you're not supposed to consider the playoffs because
I don't care.
All the other teams.
If you take Saquon Barkley out of that game, who knows what that game looks like?
It's a quarterback's award, unfortunately.
Saquon's dominant. It's cool. It's cool that seeing a fellow high school guy that he's going to the Super Bowl. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that is dope.
Yeah. Pretty cool. All right, Chiefs, Saints. I wish Chiefs, Chiefs, Eagles. Who we taking here
in the Mercedes Superdome too? That would have been
man. As much as I don't want to say it, I think the Eagles have a really good chance to win this game. If Saquon can continue to do what Saquon's been doing.
This is the payback game. This is the redemption game. They had that late flag and Kansas City kicked that field goal to beat them.
Yeah.
This is the payback game. This is the game where the Eagles win, or it's been 7 years since they won their last one, their only one, or does Kansas City win a three-peat for the first time ever? It comes down to what do you want to see? I just want to see a good game.
Listen, man.
Yep.
I honestly can't even believe these words are coming out of my mouth, but I kind of hope the Eagles win. I don't want to see the Eagles win a Super Bowl, but I just I've also like have kind of opened my eyes a little bit. That one guy from ESPN, he's like, all you people that are complaining about the Chiefs, you need to just shut up and realize you are literally watching greatness in front of you, and no one is gonna see this for like who knows how long. Like that, you watch Michael Jordan or you watch the great Dallas teams. Like we are literally watching a kid and a team that had the possibility to win 3 Super Bowls in a row.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's wild. On one hand, that's
in
wild.
The Superdome.
Yeah, that sucks.
You can do it on all levels.
Look, I just want to see a good game. I really do. I want to see a real good game, and it pains me to say this, but I hope the Eagles win.
Yeah, I think historically it'd be really cool to see the Chiefs do the whole 3-peat thing. I just personally think the Eagles have a really good chance to win this game. I think they have a lot of weapons. I think Saquon's dominant on the ground this year, and you've seen that. If Hurts plays his game, if Saquon can run, the Eagles got this game.
Howie Roseman is the best GM in NFL football.
I agree.
He just knows what he's doing. They have solid. They have a solid team. It's gonna suck when they're gonna have to pay them all because eventually it's gonna happen. But I just want a good game. But I because of Saquon, I want to see Saquon win it.
I like how the Eagles have 2 white DBs, and like I see these videos, these guys they got 2 white DBs, and they're playing better.
Yeah,
they go off. They're awesome. Cooper DeShawn could get Defensive Rookie of the Year. Should get Defensive Rookie of the Year.
What do you got there?
I in my head I was thinking Eagles. I gotta fade Chiefs now since you guys picked the Eagles. Let's go for the history. History. Let's go for the 3-peat. I think you're right. I want to see a good game. I think it'll be a toss-up.
Could you imagine if they throw a late flag again and the Kansas City wins?
Jesus.
Did you hear the
last second field goal?
You hear the like conspiracy theories of like because obviously like when Josh Allen threw that ball up, like there was already a flag on the ground, and people are like that flag was already thrown because if he would have caught that ball, they were gonna call like offensive pass interference or something. Dude, it's wild to think about it, man.
I love the one with Patrick Mahomes and referee doing a jersey swap.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's wild, man. It's wild.
I just want a good game. That's all I want. I want a good game.
Same.
I'm more excited for the draft. I can't wait to the draft. I'm excited for the draft.
I think you guys now with the new coaches. I mean, Cowboys fans, you might be in shock still. I don't know. But
you know what I'm hoping for?
You're looking forward to the draft. I think you're in a time where you can build.
Yeah. I'm hoping you see the whole Kellen Moore news the day of the Super Bowl, and I'm hoping like to get a notification like Hard Knocks, New Orleans Saints. Oh, I've been hoping for that notification for like years.
You know what that'd be great is if at the end of the Super Bowl when the Eagles or whoever wins, they go, "Where are you going?" "We're going to Disney World." And Kellen Moore goes, "I'm going to New Orleans."
So they're already there.
I'm staying here.
I'm going to my new office.
Right then and there. I'm going to New Orleans.
I'm going to my new office.
They would. It's a smart move. So let's see if it happens.
Yeah.
If they put good people around him, he's going to be a great coach.
I think so. I'm excited to see what happens.
Whoa. Go Chiefs.
Go Eagles.
We got 1 week to change.
We got 1 week to change our views. Maybe Jalen Hurts is injured or Mahomes is injured. We never know. We never know. But man, Instagram Live, YouTube, Facebook, you guys have been killing it. We're appreciative of it. I love the setup. StreamYard, huge shout out to StreamYard. Let me look at this setup. I love it. I love it.
Looking good.
Those are our takes. Kellen Moore to the Saints. Mike McCarthy wanted 5 years, but they said nope, get out of town. Raiders going to turn around Pete Carroll. Super Bowl picks. I can't wait for the draft either. I can't wait.
That's what you have to look forward to when you suck.
It gets a little bit warmer.
I know. Well, imagine Kellen Moore's like, hey, like I want to trade. If I want this game, like I want Derek Carr out here. I want Spencer Rattler.
I was going to borrow my buddy's hat today at work. I said, I need your hat for the podcast. And I was going to do Lee Corso, bend down and come up with an Eagles hat on.
Oh, God.
Something. Well, we hope you enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend, enjoy our voices and our picks. And we will see you guys next time on the Everything Goes podcast.
Peace.